Welcome to Vectorless RAG. Hey guys, welcome. Today we are talking about something that is going to change the way you think about retrieval augmented generation. And by the end of this video, you have learned enough to build your own Vectorless RAG system from scratch. So let me show you what we are building. Now imagine this. You have a document. Maybe it's a PDF, maybe it's a bunch of text files, maybe it's your company's internal wiki. And you want to ask LLM, or you want to ask a question to an LLM about that specific document. Now, traditional RAG would say, okay, let me chunk this document, generate embeddings for every single chunk, store them in a vector database, do a similarity search, and retrieve the top k chunks. Now, stuff them into a prompt and then ask the LLM to answer it. Well, it works. But for a huge number of real world document, you don't need any of that. And I'm going to prove it to you today. The problem that nobody talks about. Vector RAG is powerful, no doubt, but it comes with a lot of baggage. You need to choose a chunking strategy. Too small and you lose the context. Too large and the LLM gets overwhelmed. And after that, you need to pick an embedding model. There are hundreds of them and they all behave differently. Depending on your document type, you need to choose one. On top of that, you need to set a vector database. That's another moving part. Another thing that can break. After that, you need to worry about hallucination from irrelevant chunks being retrieved. And after all of these things, sometimes the answer is still wrong because the retrieval step has pulled the wrong context. Now let's keep all of these things aside. And what if I told you that there's a different way? A way that doesn't need embedding, a way that doesn't need a vector database, and a way that works perfectly for documents that are already structured. Think about it. Your document, they might be FAQs, they might be product manuals, or they might be internal wiki with clear sections, or any document with clear sections like a book. Now, these documents already have a structure. You don't need to guess where the information lives. You can just read the document directly. Now, how does this work, or how does this vectorless RAG actually works? The idea is embarrassingly simple, and that is why it works so well. Here's the whole algorithm. 1. You take your document and split it into sections based on natural boundaries like headings, blank line, paragraph breaks, whatever that makes sense to your document. Step 2. When a user asks a question, you search through these sections using simple keyword matching or a regular expression or even just string contains. And step 3, you grab the section that matches the best and you feed it to LLM along with the user's questions. That is it. Just your document, a simple search, and an LLM. Now, when should you use it? Let me be very clear about this. Vectorless RAG is not for every use case. If you're searching through millions of documents or doing semantic similarity across unstructured text, Vector RAG is the right tool. But if your documents are already organized, if they have clear sections, if the user's question contains keywords that appears directly in the document, then Vectorless RAG is exactly the right tool. Think about support FAQ. The user asks, how do I reset my password? That exact phrase is probably somewhere in the FAQ document, and you don't need embeddings to find it. You just need to search for the words. A real example, let's say you have a document called companypolicies.txt, and inside it there's a section that says password reset requests must be submitted through the IT portal. A user asks, how do I reset my password? A simple keyword search for password reset finds that section instantly. Now you take that section, you put it in a prompt and ask LLM to answer the question using only that section. and it works perfectly. Just a text file and a search. Now, what are the benefits? First, it's fast, like really fast. You're not waiting for embeddings to be generated or similarity searches to run. It is just string matching. Maybe take milliseconds. Second, it's transparent. You know exactly why a section was retrieved because it contained the keywords. No black boxes. No embedding model thought that it was similar or something like that. And third, it's easy to debug. If the wrong section gets retrieved, you can see why. Maybe the keyword was there or maybe not there. Or maybe you need a better keyword. You can fix this in seconds. And fourth, it needs zero infrastructure. You don't need a vector database. You don't need an embedding model. You don't need to manage any of that complexity. You just need your document and a search function. Now, I'm not going to pretend that this is perfect for everything because it's not. Vectorless RAG struggles when the user asks a semantic question that doesn't contain the keywords from the document, like what's the policy on time off, when the document says vacation leave, or when the document is massive and keyword search returns too many irrelevant sections, or when the document is unstructured with no clear section boundaries. For those cases, use vector RAG. But for a vast majority of small to medium structured document, vectorless RAG is faster, simpler, and more reliable. Now that is what vectorless RAG is. Next, there's a bonus lecture. You can skip it if you want. It covers the same concept, but in a story form. I'll tell you a tale of two librarians and a detective with a diary. By the end of the story, you will have clear understanding and the difference between vector RAG and a vectorless RAG without writing a single line of code.